The internal rotation is the rotation of the bone that is occurring within the core of the mandible. If you look at this mandible, you have this mandible having so many functional processes like coronoid process, condylar process, alveolar process, angular process, and we know the core of the mandible that is around the inferior alveolar nerve. Okay, so the rotation that is occurring within this area of the bone around the inferior alveolar nerve is called the internal rotation. The rotation of the bone in the core of the mandible, in the core of a bone, is the internal rotation. It's mean that internally, without the influence of the functional activity, without the influence of the surface remodeling, how does the bone is rotating during the growth is actually the internal rotation. And how do we measure it? We had placed the pin in the jaws, okay, and then we had taken a lateral ceph with a certain known magnification or without magnification, and then what they did, they take the radiograph after few years, and then they see the change in the position of the pins in the superimposition. They have inserted the pins, taken the lateral ceph radiograph, then after few years they had taken another X in another lateral ceph and then superimpose it. By superimposing it, they see the change in the border of the mandible, the growth changes as obviously the mandible is increasing in size. Then what they have studied that the pin have changed its position, and they notice the initial line, an imaginary line touching the metal pins was straight, and what happened in the post and after a few years they have seen the line is like this. It's mean that this change in the line is like in the anteriorly this is moving upward and posteriorly this is moving downward, and it's moving into counterclockwise rotation. So this change and this rotation within the core of the mandible, this is called internal rotation. Now moving on to the external rotation. We had temporarily skipped the surface remodeling and we have skipped the functional matrix theory. But actually the fact is this, that the functional activity of the muscles is around and they do have the influence on the surface remodeling, and surface remodeling is the phenomenon that is occurring. And moving on. So the change in the position and the morphology of the bone because of the surface deposition and resorption would lead to the external rotation. So let's understand what exactly is the external rotation. Internal rotation is clear. For example, what happened? This is the lower border of the mandible in the initial X-ray, and with the resorption, you have the resorption of the bone on this side. Actually, as an impact of the internal rotation, that is in a counterclockwise rotation, this anterior part of the mandible is moving upward, this posterior part of the mandible is moving downward. That this part of the mandible moving downward should increase the posterior facial height. Okay, this ideally should be increasing the posterior facial height. So as a result of the internal rotation, the position of the jaw should be like this. Okay, so but the phenomena of the surface resorption is there. What would happen if there is a resorption going on these area? Okay, what would happen if there is a resorption on this area of the mandible? Then this will conceal and oppose the effect of the internal rotation. Internal rotation that is occurring within the core of the mandible is moving this posterior part of the mandible moving downward and this anterior part moving upward. But due to the surface resorption in this area, this may cancel out this downward movement of the mandible, leading to a change in the position. A simple message is this, that what is external rotation? External rotation because of the surface remodeling, because of the deposition on one area of the bone and resorption on the one area of the bone, the change in the position of the bone is called the external rotation. For example, initially if the bone is like this and you had the resorption on this area and deposition on, for example, if I talk about this is the mandibular plane, if this is the mandibular plane and you have the resorption on this border of the mandible and deposition on this area of the mandible, what would happen? This will change the position of the bone because of the resorption. This will go like this, and due to the deposition this will go like this. So the bone will be added over there and the bone will be resorbed over there. So this will lead to the change in the orientation of the bone. This would be the external rotation because of the surface resorption and deposition. Let's say, I repeat, we had the initial border over here. Because of the resorption over this area, the new position of the bone would be around there. And because of the deposition of the bone over here, the new position of the bone would be like this. So this change because of the surface resorption and surface deposition of the bone, this is actually the external rotation. Internal rotation is occurring within the core of the bone. External rotation is occurring on the surfaces and that is changing the position of the bone. So there is a possibility that the internal rotation and external rotation of the mandible are cancel out effects of each other. Because of the internal rotation, this part of the mandible should go like this. But what if you had the resorption of the bone on this area and deposition of the bone on this area? This will lead to the new position of the mandible would be like this. This will cancel out the effect of the internal rotation. Internal rotation is because of the rotation within the core of the mandible. External rotation is because of the surface resorption and deposition on the surfaces of the bone. This may act opposite to each other. Okay. For example, this I said this may act opposite to each other. For example, you have the internal rotation of the mandible. In the normal patient, you have like 15 degrees of the internal rotation in the normal angle patients. So what is happening in a normal angle patient? You have the anterior part is moving upward and this posterior part of the mandible is moving downward. Okay, so if this part of the mandible is moving downward, logically speaking, this should increase the posterior facial height. But what if you have the resorption of the bone on this area? Then it will cancel out the effect of the internal rotation by the external rotation. So the total outcome and the total appearance of the lower part of the mandible will be described as the total rotation. A simple message is this: you have the internal rotation and you have the external rotation. So the total rotation is actually the total outcome, or the after the cancellation or addition of the external rotation, the apparent form of the bone will be like the total will be apparent as a total rotation of the jaw. And let's we discuss how does these internal rotation is measured. For measurement, we have to have a reference point. And how do we measure the internal rotation? We have the cranial base, ascent plane. So we do measure the internal rotation from the ascent plane to the core of the mandible. How does the core of the mandible is changing and changing its orientation? This will be judged from the ascent plane. So from the ascent plane to the core of the mandible, this angle will be described as how do we measure the internal rotation. Now, by coming to the how do we measure the external rotation, having the reference line from the core of the mandible, the changing position of the lower border of the mandible will be described as the external rotation. The angle, in a simple word, the angle between the core of the mandible and the lower border of the mandible, this will be measured as external rotation. Internal rotation is measured from the ascent plane and the core of the jaw. This is the external rotation. Now coming to the total rotation. Total rotation is actually the total outcome. Total outcome in the form of the after the cancellation of the internal rotation by the external rotation. Okay, and this will be measured as the from the ascent plane to the lower border of the mandible. You have the ascent plane over here, we have the lower border of the mandible. So after the growth rotation, the angle between the ascent plane and the mandibular plane, this will be a total rotation of the mandible. That how does this is growing.